Welcome back to another episode of Offbeat Adventures. We're standing here once again on the grade of the former Canadian Northern Railway and later Canadian National Railway's Dorion and then subsequently Kinghorn subdivision. We are just east of the community of Jellicoe in the municipality of Greenstone, Ontario. Jellicoe is just down the road over there. So here you can see the railway grade in front of us here, which is kind of curving to the northeast, I guess you could say. And the roadway that you see on here, this is Highway 11, which is part of the Trans-Canada Highway, kind of the northern route through this part of Ontario. And you'll hear a lot of transports and things like that kind of going by. So Jellicoe, the actual railway yard at Jellicoe, is just up ahead. So we're at milepost about 0.5. And so the station at Jellicoe, which Jellicoe was a divisional point from 1915 until 1960. The station is just up ahead, so it's just half a mile up ahead. You can't see it because, again, the grade kind of curves a little bit. It kind of goes sort of northeast and then turns to the east. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working our way right here from this spot, right by the Trans-Canada. I'm not too close to the highway because I do have Luna with me, and I don't want to get too close to the road. I got her leashed up here for a second. We're going to be working our way from this point here further to the west, about 2.5 miles to kind of the western end of Roland Lake. Now, before we get rolling, I just want to mention that if you are interested, if you click on the link in the description, you can see an image of the railway line here taken in 2009, a Google Streetview, where you can still see the railway tracks. The rails are still in place here crossing across the highway. So make sure you take a look at that, because that is a kind of a neat little sort of historical flashback to take a look at. Okay, so let's turn our way here to the, I guess, west, just right beside us here. This is Settingduck Lake. And so we're going to be passing by a few bodies of water here. We're actually going to be going across a bridge a little bit later. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to unhook Luna here, and then we're going to jump up on the bike and start making our way westward here. It's kind of a little bit of an interesting day. The weather lately hasn't been cooperative. It's the 9th of October today. We haven't been out on an exploration in over a month and a half, just simply because it's been a little bit crazy, and I've been waiting for the leaves to fall and things like that. Yeah, it's been crazy with school. So the weather of late has been a little bit uncooperative. The last 3 weeks, it's been gorgeous during the week. So like this week, it was beautiful Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Like we're talking about very unseasonable temperatures. So here you can actually see a little bit of a rock cut, and we're going to see a few rock cuts on this section, which is kind of a little bit unusual for the area that we're in. Anyway, so it's been very unusually warm. Even today, it's like 15 degrees, which is not normal for this time of year. During the week, it was sunny. It was 20, 22 degrees Celsius, like just to the point where it's like uncomfortable because it's so warm. And then the last few weekends have been lousy because that's when it decides it wants to rain. So yesterday, we kind of got some off and on showers and drizzle. The bush and everything is all soaking wet. Just coming east here, my pants are kind of damp. My feet are soaked, even though my boots are kind of waterproof. It's just so wet that eventually kind of worked its way through the boots. So again, here you can see Settingduck Lake. Again, very, very beautiful here. You can see the again, you can see the full colors. We're so far behind that we're kind of at peak colors right now. There are some trees that have lost their leaves. You can see some of them, but we're just kind of right in that window where you're still seeing a lot of color. So again, you can see Settingduck Lake here. So this again would have been sort of at the beginning of the two subdivisions that eventually were merged into one subdivision on this line. So this is kind of the beginning part of what was known as originally the Nippigan subdivision of Canadian Northern Railway, and later the Dorion subdivision of Canadian National Railways. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute here. We actually got our first little point of interest coming up, and so I'm going to stop. And so what we have here, we're going to see actually two of these today. We actually have one of those really kind of neat rock culverts. that I believe were kind of original construction. So there's one that's just kind of passing under here, and so we'll jump down and take a look at it. All right, so we've made our way down here on the south side of the grade, and once again we have one of these very nice, well-preserved rock culverts. Unfortunately, there's a problem because a whole pile of ties ended up getting dumped right here. I was able to move one out of the way. I was able to trim some of the branches off this tree that is growing right here, but I cannot move this tie right here. It's like, I don't know, it's like the tree is taking it over and it's kind of grown in down here. So it's kind of in the way. I'll try to poke this in as best as I can. You can see how really, really well defined the opening is. It would still probably be able to pick up water. I can't get low enough to see if there, if you could see through the other side. Maybe when we jump the grade and go take a look at the north side, we'll be able to see a little bit better. But again, looks like it's in really, really good shape, other than all of this crap, all of these ties that are kind of lying around it. So we'll jump the grade here and go take a look at things on the north side. Okay, so we're down here on the north side of the grade, and the actual opening for this culvert is actually a little ways from the grade. It actually kind of is a little bit more to the sort of the north side, not sort of immediately below the side of the grade. You can see the culvert here is in much better shape, or at least the opening is. It looks, again, very, very well defined. You can see kind of the big slab of rock on there, and you can see the slabs of rock on the side. Yeah, I can see through. I don't know if you can see that light. I can see a little pinprick of light in the camera, but you can see through. So obviously this thing is still in pretty good shape. Obviously still feeding water through when necessary, and the water's flowing down there, as we mentioned, to Settingduck Lake. All right, so we'll hop back up on the grade here and just keep plugging our way along to the west. All right, back in the saddle here, and let's just keep pushing our way along. So as I was saying, it has been a relatively nice fall. Just not particularly on the weekends. I was actually hoping to get out and do a hike yesterday, take a day off and do a hike, but I just couldn't because it was raining, and this morning was really, really foggy and damp. It's one of the reasons why, and it's very humid. It looked like the sun was going to poke out there, and I really hoped that it was going to, because I'm kind of worried about the mist. It's a bit of a mist, and I'm worried about it getting on the lens of the camera and kind of screwing up our videography here. Okay, we got a couple of things that we want to stop and take a look at coming up right here. This one here, I have no idea what this is. Maybe some railway guys can help me out here. So you can see there's a tie kind of put in the ground here vertically, and then there's you can see it's covered with this tamarack here. You can see there's this concrete kind of cylinder in the ground. It's got a metal lid, and then inside it's got a wood lid, and inside there's rocks. So no clue what this is, and again, I'm guessing it's railway related, maybe not. So if any of the railway guys can help me out here and maybe give me an idea what the heck this thing is. All right, let's jump back up on the bike here and keep plugging along. I'm just going to throw the helmet on my head here, because we have another thing coming up here in like 2 minutes. So I'm just going to walk you ahead here, because otherwise I have to jump on the bike and strap up the helmet and just walk you along here. This next thing is just right up here. Again, kind of a very beautiful section. It feels really good to be out here on the grade again. Like I said, it's been quite a while since I've done an exploration. I think the last kind of real one that I did was like the 18th of August or something in that time frame. So it's been quite a while since I've been out. And again, that's just due to the insanity of the school year. All right, let's go take a look here. So, not sure what these are. Going to be careful here because, again, everything is wet, and especially all the conifers. So you can see all these tamaracks, they're all full of water. So I have no idea why there's this mountain of metal strapping here. I don't know what these were for. Are these like straps that were used on bundles of railway ties? I have no idea. So if anybody wants to give me an indication of where these all came from or what they would normally be used for, that would be fantastic, because it's kind of a I've never seen a mountain like this. I've never seen kind of pot, like you see some smaller ones, but I've never seen quite the dump of them, and they go all the way over there too. There's quite a number of them even farther down that way. So anyway, let's jump back up on the bike here and just keep plugging along.